Kenneth Walker signing with the Kansas City Chiefs has me feeling in quite a generous mood, so I've decided to donate some EV to those of you who want to play in the $333 combine on DraftKings. We are registered in there. When this fills, Kareem said that he was going to sidle on in to the stream, so hope to see you guys there. 2 of 12 right now, so I think it's probably just me and shady advice sitting in there with you, but we got lots to cover today in terms of news, lots to cover in terms of free agency. Apparently, Max Crosby is still a Las Vegas Raider. I mean, what's going on there? What is the Baltimore Ravens like? What what do you guys actually think happened with the Baltimore Ravens? What are the Raiders going to do? Because the Raiders spent about I don't know, like $1 billion. I actually think the number is 382 million free agency dollars. I think is in the end what the Las Vegas Raiders spent. And I'm going to keep it real. I don't see how they're able to pay Max Crosby and also like not be in violation of the salary cap. So they're definitely going to have to figure that out. I was thinking, what is the fantasy football impact of that? I mean, honestly, Crosby being on the Raiders is probably slightly bullish for them in fantasy, probably helps keep them more competitive than they would have. Now, I hope that means they don't have to back out of signing Linderbaum or anything like that. Now, I do think that this is probably true. The Ravens realized they wanted the 2 firsts more than they wanted Max Crosby. I mean, don't really think I can blame them for that one, but it's just very strange. It's a very bizarre situation because the Ravens are a team that should think that they have Super Bowl aspirations, right? And Max Crosby certainly helps them get there. Now, very similar to the Chiefs thing, instead of using draft capital to get the guy, they're spending cash to do it because they were able to sign Trey Hendrickson. Although, and I'd have to have some of you ball knowers tell me the truth on this. Who's better, Crosby or Hendrickson? My guess would be that Crosby is better, but I can't say that I can't say that I know that is true. Certainly could be true, but I don't know if it is true. And we'll go ahead and hop in a DK $10 while we wait for that 333 to fill. But yeah, just very strange stuff. This is a fun question. What is the NFL version of the Bam Adebayo game? Maybe you are not a big maybe not a big NBA guy, but Bam Adebayo scored 83 points last night, which is the non-Wilt record in the National Basketball Association, ended up beating Kobe Bryant's 81 points. I do think it's a fun idea. What is the NFL version of the Bam game? I mean, it's probably the Jonas Gray game is a great call. But you know what? This will be a great stat head filter for us to run. That'll be fun. We're just going to sort by fantasy points, running back, wide receiver. No, it's definitely not the it's not the Kamara 6 TD game because Kamara is a star. Not that Bam is not a star, but Bam is not on, he's not Kobe Bryant. He's not Wilt Chamberlain, right? Oh, there you go. Nice little promotion right now. If you're on DraftKings, DK has this promo. If you enter 2 best ball drafts right now, you can go ahead and get $5. So, hey, there you go. Nice little, Will Fuller game. Will Fuller game is a good shout. The Gabe Davis playoff game is in. There we go. My guy Bukowski is in here. All right. So we're going to go to StatHead. We're going to go to Player Game Finder Pro. What, 50 fantasy points you think is a good way to sort it? Probably 50 fantasy points sounds about. Ooh, you know what? Great shout here from MVF. The Nick Foles 7 touchdown game. Very, very good shout from my guy. That sounds about right. So I'm going to go, let's go 1990. Let's go 2000 to 2005. And then we'll go statistical filter, PPR fantasy points over, let's go 47.5. How about that? And then we can see. So it's a very interesting question. Did Trubisky have a 7 touchdown game? I don't. Yeah, 6 touchdown game. I think I remember. Yes, Bam. Maybe I'm shortchanging Bam a little bit. Bam was a 3-time All-Star and was on Team USA. Kamara is a decent comp. Well, all right, there you go. There you go. Okay, where are we picking in this one? We are picking We are picking at the 110 in the first draft of the stream. Reminder, we are sitting there. Hey, Pepper Prince himself. Come on in. 333, come on in. The water is warm. Mr. Danzak. Waiting for you to pop in. Are you in this one? No Pepper Prince there. All right, so we're drafting at the 110. So we are probably going to be able to get Kenneth Walker in this one. All right, here you go. Highest from 2000 to 2025 fantasy points PPR over 47.5. The Kamara game, the famous Jamal Charles game, Jimmy Smith, Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver, 62 PPR points in that game. Chase a couple, Christian, Doug Martin 55-pointer. I don't really remember that one. I do remember this Joe Mixon game, the Will Fuller game, Drew Bennett, Wes Welker, a 51-point game. Some all-time remember those. The Bam game is the highest scoring game with actual footage. If you have any reservations on Wilt, Bam is the highest scoring game of all time. I personally don't have any reservations on the Wilt Chamberlain game, although I know that many people do. Wow, hey, we're filling this 3-3-3 quick. We got 5 out of 12. Let's go. We got 5 out of 12. This one's gonna pop off. There we go. You love to see it. Do I play streaks on Underdog? How do you think about $10 to 10K streaks compared to I would have you I don't even know how to answer this. These are entirely different games. I don't see much of a relationship between the two of them. Yes, Wilt played getting guarded by guys like me. CeeDee Lamb at 9, or CeeDee Lamb at 10. Oh, James Cook went at 8 in this one. Now, I tell you what, this is going to be a real test of myself versus the sidekick, because I know who I have ranked here. I'm gonna take Ken Walker because I want more Ken Walker fantasy football teams. So I'm going to tap that button on Kenneth Walker over Barkley, over McBride, because I just want more Ken Walker. He's on the thumbnail. I think Ken Walker could very easily end up being a first-round pick in fantasy football. I'm telling you, bro, when the mainstream fantasy football people come, when the magazines are coming out, things are going to get very, very intense for fantasy football drafters on Ken Walker. And, the comparison that I have been making is I think a lot of people probably forgot this season, but Kareem Hunt's second year, he was obviously very good for fantasy. His Kareem Hunt as a rookie, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. He was honestly even better in this second season before he got kicked off of the team. I think that is the season that you are going to be wanting to get from Kenneth Walker, where he just is scoring a bunch of touchdowns. He is, contributing in the passing game, but not a passing down back. Kareem Hunt in 2018, you see, he was involved as a receiver, 26 receptions in 11 games. But man, the dude just kept scoring. He had 14 touchdowns in 11 games. Obviously, some of them were receiving, which Kenneth Walker, obviously can do. I think Kenneth Walker can contribute. This is a good question. What was Kareem Hunt's closing ADP as a rookie? You got to remember that was before the Mahomes era, right? So if you go back and look at the 2017 Kansas City Chiefs, Kareem Hunt, I believe, was there. That was the final Alex Smith season, if I remember correctly, or maybe my years are mixed up. Yeah. So he was there the final Alex Smith season. So his ADP would not have been insane because the mythology of the Kansas City Chiefs had not been built up as much. 38, that sounds about right. Ooh, if you could play any niche, i.e. not piano, not guitar, musical instrument. First off, Cook's looking 10. Thank you for the super chat. Crazy question. Good question. The answer for me would be the saxophone, because I really like jazz music. I really like Miles Davis. I really like John Coltrane. And it would be super cool to be able to play the saxophone. I do not have the you know, mental like one, I don't really have like the tactile, like the hand-eye coordination ability to play a musical instrument, but I also don't have the necessary like mental acuity and focus to learn. Like learning things that are really detail oriented like that is very difficult for me. So, but very good question. I like that. I like that. Uh, Dreaming of Sundays. I remember the FFPC drafts after the opening game for Kareem Hunt, and he was going round 1. I also do remember that. If I ever met any music nerds, you don't need any hand-eye coordination. I mean, I think you do. I think you do. Maybe I'm wrong. I would just think you would. Yes, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was going in the first round as a rookie. I remember Clyde Edwards-Helaire's rookie season. Me and my co-managers took Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the 6th pick in the first round in one of our FFPC main events. So, to say that I have been overly excited about a Kansas City Chiefs running back before would certainly be accurate. Liam says that the 1-2 turn or a mid-second round price of K9 is too rich. I understand why someone would not want to take Kenneth Walker there. He has never paid off that price tag before. He has mostly been a timeshare back. He is not a pass catcher by nature, which is not to say that he cannot catch passes, but he is not a pass catcher, as it were. Your distinction and your mileage varying on Kenneth Walker is going to come down to how many touchdowns do you think Kenneth Walker can score? Do you think Kenneth Walker is going to score 9 touchdowns? Do you think Kenneth Walker can score 20 touchdowns? Because if you think Kenneth Walker can score 20 touchdowns, then I think you got to be taking him there. And I think the ceiling for a running back in this offense who can also generate explosives, like, I don't know. Damn. All right. Rashi went. What is the kick going to tell me to do? Tet, you know what? I'm going to take Garrett Wilson. I think I'm going to move Garrett Wilson up in my rankings. Geno is fairly bullish, I think, for Garrett Wilson. Geno is certainly a lot better than Justin Fields, a lot better than Brady Cook, a lot better than Tyrod Taylor. I know it is no longer fashionable to be pro Geno Smith, but I am pro Geno Smith. I think that a lot of what was going on with the Raiders last year was the fault of the coaches, the offensive line. Colton Miller got injured at the very beginning of the season. I still, in my heart of hearts, kind of think Geno can spin it. This is not the 3-3-3 yet, Twan. We are waiting for 7 more. We are waiting for 7 more in the $333 over on DraftKings. So whenever you guys are ready, hop on in. Do I want to take, you know what? I'm taking Kyren over Flowers. I'm going to do it for 2 reasons. The first being, I am just a running back drafter this year, baby. Secondly, I think that I want as many of my Flowers teams as possible to come on this side of the board, to come at 45, 46, 47, so that I can attempt to pair him with Lamar Jackson, because there are going to be so many of those there. I just don't see Reed taking the ball out of Mahomes' hands enough for Kenneth Walker III to have a nuclear ceiling. So I understand that from a high level. You would actually be surprised how much the Kansas City Chiefs run in the red zone. I think if you actually looked at the data, you would be stunned how many rushing touchdowns the Chiefs have. Last year, Kareem Hunt had 8, all of them coming from inside the 5-yard line. Pacheco also had 1. The year before, when Kansas City was actually like a decent team in 2024, Kareem Hunt scored 7 rushing. Worthy scored 3. P. Ryan scored 1. Pacheco scored 1. Hardman scored 1. The year before, in 2023, the Pacheco had 7, CH had 1, and McKinnon had 1 on 21 rushes. They actually do run in the red zone quite a bit. Yes, Kareem did in fact tell me that he will be. Let me see. When did Kareem say? I just messaged him. So there you go. He said whenever it fills, he's coming on in, and he is back at his desk. So if you guys are able to fill this 333, you are going to pop in on Mr. Kareem. Yeah, I read out very low touchdown totals for the shittiest players in the world. I read out 7 touchdowns for Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. When the team has good running backs, the running backs score touchdowns, right? I mean, imagine, I guess, I don't know, who was the last good running back the Kansas City Chiefs had? I mean, okay, well, not 2021, Darrell Williams. 2020, the Chiefs had Clyde. Yeah, I mean, just the worst players. Just they've been terrible every year of Mahomes' career. They've been terrible. They're just, oh my God, they're all so bad. I mean, in 2018, I would say the last good running back the Kansas City Chiefs had was Kareem Hunt, and when Kareem Hunt got cut, he had 14. You are fundamentally misunderstanding, but I can pull up. I suppose the easiest way to do this would just be to run a stat head filter. The Chiefs are a very run heavy offense in the red zone. No one thinks it, but that's just not. It's not the way it goes. All right, we're gonna go team season finder. Wait, no, that was college. There's a very good way. Yes, I mean, Walker certainly has 7 touchdown upside. Gut tells me 1,600 yards and 13 total touchdowns. I mean, that would justify the price. I think I think his current price would be justified. All right, I need player season finder. Okay, Scadaboo here. I don't. I think I'm going Tate. Tate is who I have ranked. If Scadaboo's there, coming back around the turn, I'm still a little sketched on Scadaboo. All right, we're gonna go combined season matching criteria. We're gonna go 2024, 2025. We're gonna go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. Wait, no, I need the. What I need is the play finder. There we go. Play finder. Okay. I did not. I promise you, I did not think the numbers were higher. I promise you. I mean, I think people maybe don't understand how bad the Chiefs' offense has kind of been the last 2 years. All right, players and player stats matching criteria. We'll go 2024, 2025 regular season. We'll go either. We'll go completed pass. I don't want no play. Here you go. And then I want play filter. Can I do what do I want? Starting field position from opponent 10 to opponent 1. And then I need team Kansas City Chiefs. Can I do that? Can I game filter? Hold on, let me make this pick, then we'll come back. Swift, huh? DeAndre Swift? Oh, I got auto-picked. Tyler Warren. Hey, that's fine. Ooh, Aaron Jones back to the Vikings. No, this is not the 333 yet. We need 7 more. 7 more for the $333 on DraftKings. All right. Oh, here we go. Team filter, Kansas City Chiefs, most recent 2 years. And if I'm wrong, I will eat my words. All right. So the team has run a lot of plays, 547 plays. And in that time frame, They have gone 189 rushes to 227 passes. They have gotten 76 touchdowns. 43 of them were passing touchdowns. Chris Olakun for one of them. And Kareem Hunt with 17 rushing touchdowns. Is that more? Yeah, that's more than anyone's receiving touchdowns. Obviously, a lot of them go to Mahomes. It's 9 rushing touchdowns, but they let me run this filter again for inside the 10. I wonder if that makes it. I mean, I still think that is more run heavy than you would have expected, but I bet inside the 10, it's even more so. All right. So most recent 2 years, 231 plays inside the 10, resulting in 60 touchdowns, 33 of them coming from Mahomes passing, and 16 of them coming from Kareem Hunt rushing. So almost a 50-50 split in terms of pass to rush touchdowns. And of the 231 plays, 102 of them were passing. And so that means more rushes, 80 or almost more rushes. 88 of them were rushing. So basically a 55 to 45 split. 55-45 split. I would guess that, I mean, because the Chiefs lead the NFL in pass rate over expectation, that is relatively large. That's a relatively large shift. All right. We want to know the average. All right. I'll run that with all teams. Maybe I'm totally off. I don't think I'm off, but it's totally possible. I'm going to guess that this is not true. Rachaad White to the Chiefs just confirmed, but if it is true, maybe I will have to change my tune. We do have Aaron Jones back to the Chiefs, or Aaron Jones back to the Vikings. The Vikings and running back Aaron Jones have agreed to a revised contract to keep him in Minnesota for the 2026 season. Sources tell me in Rap Sheet, Jones lowers his base salary to $5.5 million and will stay in Minnesota. So Aaron Jones re-signs with the Minnesota Vikings. I would actually guess they plan on him being the starting running back for the Vikings in 2026. Aaron Jones is a much better pass catcher than Jordan Mason. Mason is sort of a EPA hog style at running back. He's kind of just like young Kareem Hunt. Even at his age, I do think Aaron Jones is probably better. And I would consider Aaron Jones a value while he is going to be this cheap. That is my guess. Yes. And of course, Rachaad White has not signed a 3-year, $18 million deal for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. So now I'm trying to find the average. So I guess, well, I guess it would depend on how you define it, because this average is not going to work. Hold on, let me take. Ooh, this is actually a value spot on Ramondre, so we're going to add Ramondre in here at pick 82. Ramondre there is quite nice. This is. I was going to say this doesn't work as an average because it doesn't show us per team. It only shows us in the aggregate. So there've been a lot more rush attempts, but it doesn't show us per team. So I'm trying to, I don't know. Let's see. Buffalo is, it's just too hard. It's too hard to tell. There would be a way for me to run that. I probably can't do it. Probably can't do it on stream. I'd have to think more through it. But I'm sure they're like, I'm sure Ben Baldwin, has those numbers somewhere in terms of like average play calling rates. Actually, honestly, is probably somewhere on ETR. I bet ETR has the red zone PROE data somewhere in there. All right. I mean, are we just going to take Mahomes here? Mahomes and Walker? I'm not really that into Hubbard. I mean, Hubbard is totally fine and he goes anyways. So sidekick is Mahomes. I mean, don't get me wrong. There we go. Bang. All right, Patrick Mahomes. So we now have Mahomes, Kenneth Walker, Kyren Williams, Jadarian Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Carnell Tate, Tyler Warren, and Ramondre Stevenson. Honestly, this team is cooking a little bit. We're cooking a little bit right there. Yeah, the Aaron Jones thing, though. I mean, I think Aaron Jones, now that I know he's on the Minnesota Vikings, I think he's going to be a riser for me. because I definitely would want. I think I want Aaron Jones over Sharbs. I want Aaron Jones over Tracy. I want Aaron Jones over Woody Marks now. And I probably want Aaron Jones over James Conner. So it's probably right about that Rashad White line in there. I think that sounds about right. I mean, not that Aaron Jones is like some great NFL running back at this stage in his career. He is heading into his age 31 season, but he was, fine last year. Averaged 4.2 yards per carry, still contributed in the passing game. Obviously, we are hoping that the Minnesota Vikings are much better on offense this year with Kyler Murray, at the helm. Now, is Kyler Murray a good NFL quarterback? Your mileage is going to vary on that. I know a lot of you guys don't like Kyler Murray. I do like Kyler Murray, but Liam said he's not even sure if he would take K9 at the 2-3 turn. Yeah, well, I mean, you got to understand Liam also hates the Kansas City Chiefs. It's very similar to why I have a hard time taking James Cook. Like I don't like the Buffalo Bills. I don't want the Buffalo Bills to succeed, and because I don't like the Buffalo Bills and I don't want them to succeed, it is hard for me to see the upside scenario for James Cook. It's hard for me to see the upside scenario on. Yeah, it's honestly it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same. It's why I have a hard time taking Bengals players. I just like, it is impossible to be unbiased. Now, obviously, when you're aware of your biases, you can do a better job than I do of eliminating how those biases impact your play. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not going to pretend to not be biased because I am. There you go. Exactly. Liam said he would take DJ Moore over Rashi Rice. I mean, obviously that is laughable, but it's the same thing. It's like I will take Xavier Worthy over Khalil Shakir without blinking an eye. I mean, I don't really care what the facts are. Imagine caring about fandom when drafting for a 6 or 7 figure potential payday. I mean, I wish I could tell you that that you're wrong, but that's just not really the way. That's just not really the way biases work. When you're biased, it bleeds into your it bleeds into the your a priori way of thinking. Like I cannot conceive of Khalil Shakir without thinking of him being a Bill, right? I can't think about Chase Brown without thinking about him being a Bengal. Now I mean I did really like Chase Brown 2 years ago when he was sharing the backfield with Zach Moss. Things change when guys get a little bit more expensive. At cost, Chuba Hubbard or Jonathan Brooks? For me, Jonathan Brooks. I think Jonathan Brooks is one of the better bets on the board right now. He feels like 50-50 to be starting in week 1. Like if he's healthy, they did spend on him. Wow. Romeo Doubs. I have not considered Romeo Doubs at this price yet, but I guess the price of the brick has gone up. All right. You know what? This will be me buying the top Reno on Romeo Doubs at pick 106. Well, I hate the Chargers. The Chargers stuff doesn't impact me as much for fantasy because they're generally speaking guys I've liked as prospects. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't feel the same. You know what it is? I think it's probably about the Chargers. Is the Chargers are such an unserious organization that I don't have to take them seriously in terms of winning or losing games. So it just doesn't even matter. Should we take Jadarian Price here? Our running back room, I don't know. Feels like maybe Worthy is better actually. Maybe I just take Gadsden. Nah, let's take Worthy. I'm not really a Jadarian Price guy. He did not have a good combine. Has there been anything on Keenan Allen going back to the Chargers? Not to my knowledge. It feels like basically the same pattern from last year, which is he does not want to go to training camp. And if he doesn't want to go to training camp, the easiest way to do that is just to avoid signing until he gets to training camp. Now this is a good thought. Jadarian Price probably had a good run out to be the Seahawks guy in the second round. He definitely did. I don't know if he fits the archetype of guy that the Seattle Seahawks are generally into. Generally, this Seahawks front office tends to be a little bit more they tend to value the workout metrics pretty big, and Jadarian Price was, I mean, he was fine. I wouldn't say that that Jadarian Price was like I mean, he was a combine loser, honestly. GM, now that Aaron Jones is back, which Vikings running back do you prefer? I would say I do prefer Aaron Jones now to Jordan Mason. Kareem made this great comp the other day, and he said Jordan Mason was just like Jimmy Garoppolo at running back. Like his numbers look okay, his EPA stuff looks good, but then you watch him play, and he's kind of just, whatever. And I completely agree with that. I thought that was a really good analogy from Kareem, who, as always, knows some ball. I wanted to pull up the Jadarian Price sim scores because I don't think they're very good. Yeah. Well, some of them are okay. So the Jadarian Price slap score, sim scores, Sony Michel, good, but Evans, Keyshawn Vaughn, Damian Pierce, Roshan Johnson, Damian Harris, James Cook popping in there. I mean, I would say these are mostly bad comps. I would not say these are a bullish list of comps that makes me feel good about Jadarian Price. Oh, speaking of things that I am building for patreon.com/Davis Maddox subscribers, I've got another very cool new tool that I would say is just about done. I need to do a couple more quality checks on it, but it'll probably be up for subscribers. Today is Wednesday. It'll probably be up on Friday, and I think it's pretty cool, and I think that you guys will like it. Jadarian is just slower Ken Walker. That I don't think so. I don't think that makes a ton of sense to me as a comp. That doesn't mean you're wrong. Just don't know if it makes a ton of sense to me. Diggs here, not loving it. Stroud could be okay here. Stroud, and then we do backdoor Jalen Noel, perhaps. Yeah, this makes more sense to me. Mike Washington running his way into being the Seattle second round pick. That makes more sense to me. He's kind of more their type. Neither show up great, but Price or Mike Washington would be decent bets if they're running back too. 100%. I mean, 100%. You are a ball nowhere there where the draft capital is potentially going to end up blessing a Seattle backfield. I wonder what are Ken Walker's sim scores? Kenneth Walker the third, Quinshawn Judkins, Tevin Coleman, Kerryon Johnson, Miles Sanders, Darrington Evans, Darius Geis, Kendre Miller, DeAndre Swift, Jeremy Langford, J.K. Dobbins. That's actually pretty impressive given how bad his receiving yards per team pass attempt was. That's actually not nothing. Jonah Coleman here, huh? Kelsey already went. I've got Tyler Warren. Jonah Coleman. Do I want to just take Rachaad White? No, we'll take Jonah Coleman. So we are at Patrick Mahomes, Kenneth Walker III, Kyron Williams, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Carnell Tate, Tyler Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, Romeo Doubs, Xavier Worthy, CJ Stroud, Jonah Coleman. All right. Well, we got 2-4-5-1 build there. Yeah, never forget Kerryon Johnson. He should have been really good. Never ended up happening for him. Let's see, where are we at? We still need 7 more for the 3-3-3. Let me send another tweet out about that. Such a recession indicator. Need 7 more for a 3-3-3, and Pat Kareem will jump on the show. Bang. Yeah, wow. That's a remember that guy. Kerryon Johnson. Did he ever play again after he hurt the Achilles, or was that just it? Was that just it for him? So he must have hurt his Achilles. What was it, after this season? He did. He must have come back for a little bit. Well, I don't remember him on San Francisco. There was one year where Kerryon Johnson was a really early pick. There you go. It must have been here. I mean, wow. 19 for 158 against Miami. I don't really remember that. And then 2019, what was he on IR there for? Was it 2020 where he did it? It must have been. Yeah. Tough scene. Tough scene for the guy. Ooh. This is actually, I would say this is actually a pretty big deal. I would say this is about as big of a landing spot as you can find. Chig Okonkwo has signed a 3-year deal with the Washington Commanders. He will immediately be their best receiving tight end. I do not expect Zach Ertz to be back by week 1. When this coaching staff was asked about Ben Sinnott, they basically gave the Bruno Caboclo. He's 2 years away from being 2 years away. Chig never really got to be a full-time player in Tennessee. I would anticipate he will be a full-time player for the Washington Commanders. They have an obvious hole at receiving tight end. They have an obvious hole for receivers in general. I think in terms of landing spot, that is about as good of a landing spot as Chig Okonkwo could have asked for. That's a win. That is a win for Mr. Okonkwo. Shout out to Chig. Yeah, Brad. You like that? You like that? You like that, bro? You know, everyone is put on earth to do their thing, and that is indeed my thing. Wow, Arsenal is losing to Bayer Leverkusen right now. All right, what are we gonna do here? Yeah, I knew this was gonna be a Daniel Jones pick. Bang, Daniel Jones stacked with Tyler Warren. We got our quarterbacks done in there. Daniel Jones is probably gonna play pretty poorly, but what if he doesn't? Ooh, I'd take him before, and I take him probably before, likely not before Andrews. I think I will go and adjust my rankings basically immediately when we are done with this stream. I don't think that David Njoku is dead. No, I would say there are still multiple spots where David Njoku could immediately land and be useful. I think David Njoku could sign with the Dolphins. I think David Njoku could sign with the probably not the Titans. David Njoku could sign with the Bengals. David Njoku could sign with the Broncos. David Njoku could sign with not the Eagles, not the Commanders now. Maybe the Panthers. Panthers don't really have a tight end. I'm definitely not taking Woody Marks, so forget about Tank Dell all day. So we now have our CJ Stroud stack. Where else could he go? David Njoku could sign with the Packers potentially as a fill-in until Tucker Kraft is fully healthy. The Minnesota Vikings maybe would be an option. Yeah, the Lions, I think is fine. More like Short King short form video spring. Yeah, Njoku reporting was the Bengals, Commanders, and Panthers were in. Yeah, the Steelers moved on from Jonu, but they have Freiermuth and Darnell Washington. I think this is the Commanders' plan. I do think that they are going to sign Brandon Ayuk and Rachaad White and just go all in on making Jaden Daniels happy. I mean, I don't know, but there you go. Your boy, your 2025 big board champion is imploring all of you to come up. Oh, there we go. We are 50% full. 6 out of 12. So we need 6 more on in there. And we'll see what we see. Should I take Chig in this draft? Is he still on the board? Chig Okonkwo is on the board here. He's gonna be a guy I'm taking in a ton of slow drafts. Njoku to the Eagles, that one actually makes a ton of sense. I'm on board there. I like that one. I don't know. Would the passing volume be there though? Imagine a political party running the midterms on a March 11th best ball draft not being able to fill in the economy of the incumbent. Imagine seeing that in a political ad. Do we get any more? Nope, still 6 of 12. All right. How do I want to finish this team? I've got a 3-4-6-1. Okay, Helm is still there for me. Njoku is still there. I'm definitely taking Chig at this next pick. TJ Hawkinson. Sidekick loves TJ Hawkinson. Not me, bro. That's one that I just disagree with Kareem and Sacrilegious and Shady about. And I could totally be wrong. He could show up. He could be healthy. It could just be, a brand new version of TJ Hawkinson. I agree. Hawk, I think, just seems washed. Doesn't mean I'm right, but he just seems washed. I'm taking Chig. There you go. That's how you respond to information in real time. Chig Okonkwo at pick 178. Do you guys think that's bad? Do you think that's early? Do you think that's overreacting? There's a lot of targets available. Look at some of these absolute bums who were getting targets for the Washington Commanders last year. So the Commanders had 525 pass attempts last year. So you remove Ertz's 91. This is the 2024 team, which maybe is better because Jaden Daniels was there. All right, 2025, the team threw 469 passes. You've got 99 for Debo. He's gone. 72 for Ertz. He is likely not going to be able to play. McLaurin, you've got coming back. Jalen Lane, the team probably won't play. McNichols, I believe, is not under contract. Chris Moore's gone. They did re-sign Treylon Burks. 16 for John Bates. 15 for Luke McCaffrey. 13 for JCM. 13 for Sinnott. I mean, it's all bums. It's the whole thing is bums. Now, the sidekick is doing this thing, and I'm going to take Brian Robinson Jr., where it's hard for me to tell. It either thinks my running back room is so terrible that I can't win the position anyways, or that I can't add any more points there. It's another one of those interesting things that I've been just wondering about the math behind. I have no way of knowing, I don't know what the math is, but I tend to think that instead of taking like a ninth wide receiver, I want to take another running back. So I took Brian Robinson Jr. there. Brian Robinson Jr., is now starting to run out of spots in the musical chairs. Like, how many other teams still need to sign a running back? So the Bills are good. The Dolphins are probably fine. The Jets are fine. The Patriots are fine. The Texans could add one more. They probably won't. The Colts are good. The Jags could add one more. The Titans could add someone. They might draft Love. The Ravens could add a handcuff. The Steelers are good. The Bengals are probably fine. The Browns are fine. The Chiefs maybe could add one more guy if they don't sign Hunt. The Chargers are probably fine. The Broncos are fine. The Raiders are fine, although they could sign an old guy. The Eagles are good. The Commanders still need someone, but they're not going to sign Brian Robinson Jr. The Cowboys are probably fine. The Giants are fine. The Buccaneers are fine. The Falcons could add a handcuff. The Carolina Panthers are fine. The Saints are full up. The Lions, maybe. Brian Robinson Jr. to the Lions, potentially. Maybe the Lions. Maybe they just say they need 3 running backs and they don't care about Isaiah Pacheco, possibly. The Vikings are good. The Packers, maybe, because they let Emmanuel Wilson go in free agency, so they just have Jacobs and Brooks and I guess Savion Williams. The Bears could potentially look to either replace Monungai or cut DeAndre Swift. The Rams are good. The Seahawks still need someone. The Cardinals are good. And the 49ers do need a handcuff for McCaffrey, but they had Brian Robinson Jr., so I guess they would just be bringing him back. That might be true. I might think the wide receiver room stinks. Because I guess I did take Garrett Wilson over Tet, and I did take Carnell Tate over Scattaboo. And I think it did want me to take a wide receiver when I auto drafted Tyler Warren. So that could be right. The late round running backs project worse, so it's saying take projected points. I don't think it's I will say I don't think it's that simple. Just because the sidekick is doing a more it's just doing a more advanced process than that. But I could be wrong. I certainly don't know all of the inputs there. Interesting that it wants me to take a tight end here. I think well, all my favorite tight ends are gone. I want to have zero Colby Parkinson. I am not a Colby Parkinson, bro. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm a T Ferg, bro. So I'm actually gonna snap up Zachariah Branch here. I think Zachariah Branch goes ahead of Jeremy Bernard in the draft. Again, maybe I'm wrong. And I just love guys like Zachariah Branch. With Fleury coming from San Francisco to Seattle, it wouldn't be crazy for Brian Robinson to be the early guy in Seattle. I like that. I like that. 49ers should probably just re-sign him and draft Jonah Coleman. They could do that. Although he's not much of a, I would not say he is much of a 49ers style guy. Should we take Kyle Williams or Darnell Mooney? I'm going to just go with my ranking there. I'm going to take Kyle Williams instead of Darnell Mooney. I think the chances of a Kyle Williams breakout went up quite a bit with Romeo Doubs being the signing. Now, obviously, if they trade for AJ Brown, the Kyle Williams experiment is done. He was able to get on the field a little bit. He was not a zero. I was big into Terrence Ferguson, but the Higbee signing was a little surprising. Well, I honestly anticipated Higbee coming back in general. I mean, the Higbee contract is nothing. The Higbee contract is 2 years, $8 million. He's making I think half of what Noah Gray is making. Just for example. The yes, not even. He's making less, dude. Noah Gray signed a 3-year, $18 million contract. Noah Gray counts $7 million against the cap this year. Like the Higbee contract is nothing. It really. So I think that the way, well, if you're a T Ferg bull, this is what you would say. You would say they want to still have the ability to play that 13 personnel, but they want to change the order of importance. Yes, my guy Green stuff right here. They ran the 3 tight end stuff so much, like you've got to have the bodies. Higbee is certainly on the downside of his career at this point. But, we'll see. Ooh, I did not know this. Is Higbee in the Breakfast Club? I didn't know that. I didn't know. Njoku as a chief. Njoku could be a chief. I could see that. Although, it's kind of hard when they're the Noah Gray contract. Brett Veach has a lot of these where he just gave out these contracts. It's like, why the shit, bro? Why did they extend Noah Gray? Hey, GM Justin, how you doing, man? Dad life is great, dude. I would, I don't know. It's probably not for everyone, but I'm greatly enjoying my time as a dad. It's been, it's been great. You certainly do not know what it is going to be like until you experience it. That much is for sure. But it's pretty great. What are we gonna do with this next pick? Darnell Washington. That's another guy. I have a hard time with Darnell. Doesn't mean I'm right. It's just hard. What it is it's hard for me to imagine him just ever being like a full-time receiving player. Yeah, Goddard is going to get, I think, a pretty big deal with Chig getting 30 million. Njoku could do 1 year in Carolina and then come to Kansas City. Maybe he wants to give a discount. The old hometown discount. You never know. You never know. Is Njoku an Eagle style player? Maybe he is. I don't know. I had not parsed that one together. Uh Darnell Washington, Gesicki, Koziel, Max Clar. I kind of need a guy who's going to be on the field because I did do a little bit of a risky one there with Chig. All right. I mean, I literally don't think I've taken Darnell Washington yet, so there you go. First time for everything. We'll go ahead. And do it. Why not? Yes, with every passing day, we are letting the Michael Mayer dream die because it just doesn't seem like anyone wants to trade for him. Which I mean, whatever. You can't blame anyone for not wanting that. But all right, final pick. Man, I think I'm going running back again. I think I'm just gonna take Adam Randall here over Malachi Fields. Malachi Fields, like to me, that's a true what's the use? All right. Recap. Patrick Mahomes, Kenneth Walker III, Kyron Williams, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Carnell Tate, Tyler Warren, Ramondre Stevenson, Romeo Doubs, Xavier Worthy with Mahomes, CJ Stroud, Jonah Coleman, Daniel Jones with Tyler Warren, Tank Dell with CJ Stroud, Chig Okonkwo, new Washington Commander, Brian Robinson Jr., Zachariah Branch, Kyle Williams, Darnell Washington, and Adam Randall. I think that one went all right. I think it went okay. Looks like we are 7 out of 12 in the 3-3-3. So we're getting there. It's coming close. How much is first place in the $33? $5,000. Yeah, let's go back and do another $10 while we wait. So we need 5 more. Yeah, honestly, they might just be running out of spots for rookie tight ends. How many Will Howard shares do I have? I don't think I've taken Will Howard yet. I'm gonna be real with you, brother. I don't think I've taken Will Howard yet, and I probably won't. I probably am gonna end at 0 Will Howard. Not really that just not really that into it. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I tell you what, I'm actually the opposite side of that one with you, brother. I'm an Aaron Rodgers drafter. Yeah, the 33 does have a much better advance rate, which I guess you would expect because it's a smaller contest. Wow, looks like Arsenal is really going to lose to Bayer Leverkusen. They scored? No, 81 minutes. Beautiful season. All going to end. You don't love to see it if you're an Arsenal guy. Will Howard actually attended my university. Will Howard went to Kansas State before transferring to Ohio State. I'm not in on Carson Beck. I do kind of think that Drew Aller is okay though. In terms of like if I was going to take an absolute risk on a prospect, I don't hate the idea of doing Drew Aller. I really don't. I think I've taken Taysom Hill once. All right, draft number 2, 54 minutes and 30 seconds into the stream. We are going to be drafting out of the 1.2, and we are going to begin this draft with whichever of Bijan Robinson or Jameer Gibbs we get. Looks like we get Jameer Gibbs, and we still need 5 more in the 3-3-3. GM Donnie, or GA rather. Hope you're having a phenomenal afternoon, my guy. Hope you are enjoying yourself. Hope everyone is enjoying themselves this afternoon. Who am I hoping for in the Chiefs draft? I'm hoping for either the safety, Caleb Downs, but I mean, ultimately, I think whichever offensive lineman is there. Here you go. We'll do the mock draft simulator. We'll just do one of these every day. You know what? Let's just do a full. Let's do a 5-round Chiefs mock draft, and I want to care about positional value. I want to draft for needs. I'm going to enter the draft. I'm going to start the draft. I would love if they were able to get any of these tackles, whether it be Spencer Fano or Francis Mayoga. I'm going to take the tackle there. There you go. At the next pick, at pick 29 for the Chiefs. Oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to take any edge rusher. Again, I don't know anything about this guy, but he's the highest rated edge rusher. Um, let's take another edge rusher because they have multiple edge rushers that they need to figure out. Zachariah Branch actually is a great fit for the Kansas City Chiefs at pick 74. He's basically like worthy, but bad. We'll do any defensive back here. Sure. Zach A. Wheatley. I don't even know who this dude is, but we're going to take him. Pick 146, we'll take Devin Marshall from North Carolina State. And then we'll take Julian Neal from Arkansas. And then we'll take Hezekiah Massas from California. Honestly, Zachariah Branch is the Rashee Rice of Xavier Worthy's. That is such a ball-knowing, that is such a good ball-knowing statement from you. That is a great way to frame it. So there you go. That is a quick look at kind of what I would do. Just all trenches, all like take a stab on a bunch of defensive backs. That is there you go. Overall, top 44% of Chiefs drafts. Overall draft grade A-. GZ to me. But that's about what I would like the Chiefs to do. I want them to draft a bunch of guys who weigh 200 pounds and have the ability to get us fantasy points. I mean, honestly, or have the ability to help the team generate, just kind of anything in the trenches is the main idea. Yeah, Branch is a quick game merchant, which is a lot of what Kansas City runs, right? A lot of it is based off the mesh stuff and screens. All right, Kenneth Walker goes at 18 in this one to the King Lives 33. That feels about right. I drafted 200-pound edges. Well, I didn't know. I'm gonna keep it real. I just don't really know a ton about I don't know a ton about the defensive players in this draft. And by a ton, I mean I don't know anything about the defensive players in this draft. All right. We are up. Wow. I'm going to get one of Barkley or Love. Wow. Pickens went early. Derrick Henry went at the turn. That guy's wow. All right. How about that? How about a Jameer Gibbs, Jeremiah Love start? Don't drop the baby. Wow. He's my man Sanka is going way back then. Maybe that guy can stay onside. Maybe. All right. Do I want to take Nico here? Yeah, Nico is probably good here. Yeah, this is a nice little GM. How are we at in the 3-3-3? We are still 7 out of 12. Yeah, I'm not taking Hampton. I'm not taking Hampton at 14. All right, Nico, AJ Brown, Crystal. Yeah, I'm gonna take Olave. The sidekick is not as high on Olave, so I've found myself not getting very much Olave on DraftKings, and I would like to change that. All right. Well, How we feeling about? I mean, that's a nice little GM start. Yeah, you love to see that. You love to see that weaker than Paul. Barkley has got to be better this year. The OC couldn't get worse. I honest to God don't see how the offensive coordinator could get any worse. I like literally actually don't know how the offensive coordinator could possibly be worse than the offensive coordinator from last season. It seems insane. So I think I'm with you on that one. Like Kevin Patullo had never called plays before. Honestly, I don't know who is the Eagles offensive coordinator. I just know it's not Kevin Patullo. The Eagles offensive. Oh, it's Sean Mannion. That's right. It's old Oregon State, Los Angeles Rams quarterback Sean Mannion. Freddie Kitchens is available. That's true. Freddie Kitchens is available. Freddie Kitchens probably has a job in the NFL right now. Freddie Kitchens. Freddie Kitchens, who most recently was the offensive coordinator for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Of course he was. Of course he was involved with the North Carolina Tar Heels experiment. Did he get fired? The interim head coach for the oh, no. Okay, he was the this was before. This was before the Bill Belichick experience. Uh No, Kitchens was retained by Belichick for the 2025 season. Following the end of the 2025 season, Kitchens was fired. Well, there you go. It's always how it goes. Leverkusen concede in the 90th minute to Kai Havertz, of course. Of course. Wow, Drake May goes at 32 in this draft. People are wiling out here. I mean, this is what happens on DraftKings, bro. This is why you got to hop in the 333. You never know what people are going to be doing out here on DraftKings. They're going to be going crazy. I mean, Lad ahead of Breece to me also feels kind of crazy. Where are we at on Breece Hall now that Geno is in the building? Are we in on Geno? Are we out on are we out on the offense? I mean, do we think they are going to be better than last season? I think they're going to be a lot better than last season, but I understand that might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm probably back in. Yeah, Lad ahead of AJ Brown to me is crazy. There you go. There you go. The Doug Martin game. I do think that is a pretty good comp. The Doug Martin game to the Bam game. Although, as another commenter pointed out, I probably am not giving Bam his all due respect. Bam, a very good player. Although, I guess the thing about Bam is when you're trying to distill Bam Adebayo's value, he's certainly much more of a defensive impact than an offensive impact, which is why 83 was so strange. Well, I mean, I think there were a lot of things going on for Ashton Genty. I also think the idea that Ashton Genty was like awful last year, like, would you be surprised to know that Ashton Genty had 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns last year? I bet you would be surprised to know that Ashton Genty had 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns last season. I bet if you asked the average fantasy football player how many yards and touchdown Ashton Genty had last season, they'd be like, oh, he had like 850 and 8 touchdowns or whatever. Oh my God, please do not take Luther Burden. Let me get Luther Burden at 47. Don't do it, bro. He's going to do it. This is going to be annoying. Take Devonta Smith, take anyone else, bro. Let me get Luther Burden. Come on, bro. He's auto drafting. He's auto draft. So I'm just gonna, okay. Well, that is so unfortunate, man. All right, we'll take Devonta Smith. That is just is there anything worse than getting the guy you want auto drafted ahead of you by someone who doesn't even care? You know, this person does not care. This person is totally out of it. Do I want to take Lamar? Do I want to? I mean, JMO would be nice here. JMO in round 5 would actually be quite nice. All right, well, just not meant to have nice things. Do I want to go full slap and take Tootin? Sidekick wants me to take Montgomery. Sure. David Montgomery over Byshell Tootin. How much things have changed. I was probably that guy. Was waiting on a draft to start. Got sidetracked. Didn't realize it went. Been there. The irony. So the Eagles can't be worse. Land on Devonta after getting auto sniped. Yeah, that's life. Where are we at? All right, still 7 out of 12 in the 333. Man, when the NFL season starts, we are gonna be absolutely cooking with, or I guess after the draft, we're gonna be able to be cooking in some of these high stakes ones. They are gonna be happening. They're gonna be popping off. We're gonna be able to fill a 500 so quickly. Auto drafting 4 rounds in a draft you put earned cash into is nuts. Well, yeah, you know, people do it. I think it's mostly a mistake when it happens, but yes, I'm sure that is true. All right, so we've got Jameer Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, Chris Olave, Devonta Smith, and David Montgomery. Tying up $333 for 10 months in this economy. I mean, what better place to do it, brother? What better place to do it? Betting on the Eagles passing game feels negative EV. See, I completely disagree. Because we are not very far removed from the Eagles passing game being some of the highest EV on the board. You know, like we've had huge spots where the Eagles passing game was what you needed. Yes. DraftKings dollars aren't real. They only exist on my screen. By the way, loved your video the other day on the idea of drafting division. Ever think to draft solely ARC or NFC team? No, but maybe that'll be the the video this weekend. You're buying the Eagles are so cheap. Like Jalen Hurts was a 4th round pick last year, and his ADP is 72 this year. I'm snapping up the Jalen Hurts teams. Yes, to quote Adam Levitan and my friend Zach Lennar, many are calling best ball the only financial safe haven. I mean, you know, I guess it depends on what you do with your money. I consider best ball to be, you know, my favorite recreational pastime, basically. So I like to spend my money on entertainment, and it's good entertainment for me. AJ Brown exceeded Megatron's 125-yard receiving game streak. Yeah, people just hate Jalen Hurts. They hate the Eagles. I mean, it does all come downstream from how much people don't like Jalen Hurts, which, you know, Jalen Hurts is not for everybody, but I've always been a Jalen Hurts guy and will always be a Jalen Hurts guy. So I guess it's easier because, again, coming back to the biases thing that we were talking about earlier, because my biases lean more pro Jalen Hurts than negative Jalen Hurts, it'll be easier for me to buy in that situation. Whereas, you know, if you have a very negative perception of Jalen Hurts, it will be harder for you. Mekhi Lemon would be quite the excellent pick here. No, sir. Do not dollar cost average on ETH. Don't do that. Do not DCA. Mekhi Lemon is a great pick there. I fear I'm cooking with gas here. I mean, it would have been really nice to have gotten Devonta Smith. And then we can get Jalen Hurts, assuming that Juiced Aces 83 does not take him, and we're gonna have our GOAT 1C quarterback, and then this will probably be one where this is this guy auto drafting too? Wait, how is this guy auto drafting if he took Dak Prescott at 70? Maybe I'm just getting DK'd right now. Maybe I'm getting killed by DraftKings, and they're just that's so annoying, bro. Well, whatever. I'm not gonna be able to find a quarterback here. All right, well, let's you know what? I mean, that's a pretty big ADP fall on Tyler Warren at 74. Ethereum might be worth $1,000 by the time my son is 18. We are live, Kevin. We are live, and we are waiting for 5 more people in the 333. I did not pass Hurts. I did not pass Hurts. Hurts got snapped from me. I was unable to secure his services. the meta on DK is spite. I like that. I might steal that, Paul. I might steal that. That's a very good bit. So I guess Pat is coming on if you guys fill this. Crane told me he's coming on if you guys fill the 333. That's what he said. You got to understand, Crane is a multimillionaire who's just taken in the sights and the sounds and the smells of beautiful California weather right now. So he's only coming in if we're able to fill this 333. Ooh, my outrights for the players. It's a great question. Shout out to our friends at DraftKings for hooking me up the partnership for this. I've got Ludwig Oberg for 47-1. I've got Siwoo Kim at 32-1. I've got Minwoo Lee at 42-1. I've got Adam Scott at 62-1. That is my Players Championship card over on DraftKings. And I'm pretty excited about it. It's a fun tournament. Maybe we'll and I did the #DK partner. I'm preparing for the sim where crypto is a psyop from the deep state to rug pull and pay all the national debt. What a sim that would be. Why do I have confidence in Oberg after his start? Well, his results were a lot better last week for my guy Ludwig. And most importantly, I just got a crazy CLV value there. But look, Ludwig, most recent 2 tournaments, 1.7 on approach. He's gained strokes in all 4 facets of the game over the most recent 3 events, and he went off at like I think he's down to 25-1 now. Wow, Juiced Aces. I didn't know I was in your draft room. You sold me on Hurts with your talk on him. Then I realized you were next to me. Hey, all's fair in love and war. All's fair in love and war, bro. I guess so. All right. Someone said early I'm irrational about Justin Herbert. I mean, they're definitely right, but here, I will take him. Justin Herbert at pick 95. I've barely taken him this season. I didn't have a great stack lined up. I didn't have Purdy stacked or correlated, and Bo Nix did not have stacked or correlated. So I might as well use this as a spot to get a wee bit of exposure to Justin Herbert. I can take, you know what? I can take Gadsden with my next pick. Maybe even get Gadsden at 119. his ADP has been dropping a little bit. I don't want to take another quarterback here. I'm not going to take Purdy. You know what? Do I want to try and push Gadsden around? My running backs are quite good, so it would really be like Jordan Addison. You know what? Screw it. Gadsden. So we'll do Herbert and Gadsden. So we have Herbert, Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, Chris Olave, Devonta Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Tyler Warren, David Montgomery, and Aronde Gadsden. Not exactly the plan that I had coming in. Yes, the KLS league winning stack. Super Fever is a fan of the team. What if we do a round 20 Keandre Lambert Smith? Has there been any hype on Keandre Lambert Smith? Let's see. Let's do a Keandre Lambert Smith Google search. Most recent news update on Keandre Lambert Smith is there's nothing. There's nothing. But you can imagine if there would be something. No hype. Locked On Chargers 2 weeks ago. Keandre Lambert Smith could be a real factor in the Chargers offense. That's it. That's all I got. I got one short form vertical video. Drafting Charlie Collar's backup. Laporta Goff we could have done. Addison for the backdoor traded. Well, Jordan Addison posted here's some inside scoop. Jordan Addison posted a photo on his Instagram 2 days ago of himself in a Matt Forte Chicago Bears jersey. And Caleb Williams posted a photo of Jordan Addison on his Instagram story at the same time. Now, the reason why those two guys know each other is they are both USC guys. So they, spent some time accommodating with one another for the 2022 USC Trojans. That was the Heisman year for Caleb Williams, and a very good season for Jordan Addison that year as well. Oh, the Bucks placed a ERFA on Sean Tucker. I thought they didn't do that. So they signed Gainwell and they're trying to keep Tucker. What's the deal? What's the deal with that? I don't love that. That's a real hey, Kevin, you never know. We are 8-12. We are 8-12. So if you were on the fence, four more for that. Maybe we get lucky. There you go. Bucks place the ERFA tender on Sean Tucker. So he's a restricted free agent. Now he can leave, right? It's just someone has to pay him some more money. Ooh. Do I take Kyler here? Kyler or Shuck, honestly, either would be fine. Do I have I've got the Shuck stack, so I'm gonna do Shuck over Murray, and if the sidekick still wants me to take Murray at 122, I will. Thoughts on running backs besides Brooks between 160 and 200 now that Tucker and Kamara got downgrades? It's a totally barren range of the draft. You got Aaron Jones, Singleton, Tajay Spears, Braylon Allen, Claiborne. Keaton Mitchell is my favorite of that group, actually. Keaton Mitchell and Brian Robinson Jr. are probably the ones that I take the most of in that group. Yeah, there you go. Tucker is taking the goal line. Gainwell is taking the passing downs. And now Bucky Irving is just as much of a trap back as he was last year. All right. Well, it is what it is. I don't think Bucky is not going to drop at all because Bucky guys are legion. All right. I am going to take Kyler. He's still at the top of the sidekick. I can maybe get Concepcion coming around. So we're done at quarterback. Weird team, actually. Herbert, Gibbs, Love, Olave, Devonta Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Tyler Warren, David Montgomery, Aronde Gadsden, Tyler Shuck, and Kyler Murray. A bit of a weird team. Tucker is stuck there. Well, okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the way the ERFA tag works means that he can leave if another team is willing to come over the top in terms of price, right? Yeah, I guess at this point run the lineup spots are running a little bit low for Keaton Mitchell. Like where I guess I mean obviously the nutted spot for Keaton Mitchell would be for him to sign for Seattle, but can't he just go back like a la Jerome Ford? Can't he just go back to the Ravens for less money? Feels like that could certainly happen. Yeah, so the Bucks get a chance to match any offer, but if some team wants to give Sean Tucker $6 million, the Bucks are not going to match that offer. So if someone really wants Sean Tucker, they can come and get him. Yeah, Keaton as the running back 2 in Green Bay would not be bad. That is definitely true. All right, I need to look up the ERFA tender. An exclusive rights free agent is a 1-year contract offer by NFL teams to players with fewer than 3 accrued seasons and an expired contract. If tendered at the league minimum salary, the player cannot negotiate with other teams and must return to their original team. So, yeah. So Sean Tucker is a buck. Sean Tucker is a buck. Keaton Mitchell, definitely not the same. And yes, Jake Tonjes officially returning to the San Francisco 49ers. Not that that was ever really that much in question. I don't think. Is Halani a secret good click with Walker heading to Kansas City and Sharps coming off injury? I just think it's so likely they bring in another running back. No, I think what I was saying is the exclusive rights free agent. I think because I believe the exclusive rights free agent, I believe it generally applies to only guys who were undrafted free agents like Sean Tucker. I believe is the context in which it was used. There you go. T-Bird Baller is going to join the 333 because he's not a coward. Well, let's see. It's 8 out of 12 right now. So let's see if T-Bird is a man of his word. Wow. Sidekick still wants me to take another quarterback, which I'm not going to do. I will take Joshua Downs. I'm not taking a 4th quarterback. That is just so funny. Sidekick must hate Justin Herbert. That's got to be my guess. Got to be my guess that the Sidekick just absolutely hates Justin Herbert. I've never seen it having me recommend 4 quarterbacks by the 12th round. That is so interesting. Or maybe quarterback scoring is more out there than we think. Or maybe it just hates these skill position players. I'm going to take Travis Hunter as my wide receiver 4. So now we have a 3-3-5-2 build going, which doesn't feel that bad. I get wrecked 4 quarterbacks with Mahomes. Well, as Kareem noted to me the other day, I mean, the way that you use the sidekick, like everyone's individual results are going to vary with the sidekick. So, we'll see. Sidekick appears to be quarterback juice this season. Yeah, and I think it might be specific to I think it might be specific to pre-draft best ball because there's so much randomness at quarterback. I believe I have done 1 for quarterback teams when I got totally caught, and I think it was like Cam Ward, Geno, Tua, and Ty Simpson, perhaps. And you can see why that would be sort of appealing as a whole. All right, hey, T-Bird Baller kept his word. We are 9 of 12. So I think T-Bird Baller was, hey, let's all give T-Bird Baller a salute for hopping in. A man who says what he means what he says, and does what he says. Shout out to T-Bird Baller 12. All right, how am I gonna am I going to land the plane on this one? Herbert, Gibbs, Love. It's a really nice start. Chris Olave with Shuck, Devonta Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Tyler Warren, David Montgomery, Gadsden with Herbert, Shuck with Olave, Aaron Jones, Josh Downs, Travis Hunter. Maybe I will take TJ Hawkinson on this team just to have a Viking stack. Oh, Robert, you're a ball knower, bro? These are crazy, dude. This is like the only thing that has gotten me off of Diet Coke in a long time. Dr. Pepper and cream soda, 0 sugar. It's really, really good. A little bit of afternoon caffeine, holds off the you're able to stave off, the sugar craving, because it is super sweet. So you're able to stave off the sugar cravings pretty good. Yeah, they are gas. Ooh, I've not had the strawberries and cream one. Yeah, Chris, we're struggling, bro. We're struggling. And I knew these were not going to fill that quickly. Yes. Super Fever, this is the greatest tweet of all time. Someone tweeted that Diet Coke is just fridge cigarettes. Yeah. And it's true. It's true, and I love it. It's true, and I'm totally about it. I love my fridge cigarettes. All right. Jonathan Brooks is an absolute gas pick here. Bang. That is nice. I love when I completely agree with the top pick in the sidekick. That always fills me with joy, because then I'm like, yeah, dude, me and Shady Advice, basically the same dude. Me and Shady Advice, we both love ball. I don't really want to take Jerry Jeudy. I guess I could take Jerry Jeudy here. I mean, why not? Why not take a little bit of Jareth Jeudy here? Do I want to take maybe Ridley makes sense on this team? Is there a running back that makes any sense here? No, there's not really. Where am I at tight end? I have expensive tight ends. All right, let's just do it. Jerry Jeudy. I mean, I think Jerry Jeudy was like 19th in the NFL in targets last year or something. Is that right? Let's go see. 2025 in the NFL. Receiving stats. Anyone guess in your head right now? All right, I've got it pulled up. Guess in your head where Jerry Jeudy ranked in targets last year. Oh, it's way lower than I thought. Still not nothing, though. Jerry Jeudy had more targets last season than Ladd McConkey, than Stephon Diggs, than Jamison Williams, than Jalen Waddle, than DK Metcalf, than T. Higgins, Khalil Shakir, Brian Thomas, Juwan Jennings. Jerry Jeudy, 29th in the NFL in targets. 29th. I mean, honestly, it's and obviously his stats are so much worse than everyone around him, which is just so funny. So good. All right, still 9 out of 12 there. Jerry Jeudy, man. You ever want to feel alive? Just take Jerry Jeudy in a fantasy football draft on March 11th. Who knows? He's got his whole life. How old is Jerry Jeudy? Is Jerry Jeudy one of those like guys that are younger or older than you think? Jerry Jeudy age 26 years old. He is going to turn 27 next month. He is. He is a wide receiver 1 in the 15th round. Ooh, is Jerry Jeudy an every other year guy? I was unfamiliar with that lore on him. Jerry Jeudy is he might be. I mean, Jerry Jeudy went for 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns last year, 972 yards and 6 touchdowns the year before. I think you're onto something, Benny. I think you're onto something. He is an every other year guy. So that you gotta be buying on Jeudy now. Now is the buy time on Mr. Jeudy. Good to know. Good to know. Do I want it? Man, the running backs are just so tough here. There's like no one you really want. Did Keaton already went? Keaton, yeah, Keontae Ingram. That's reaching back into years past. He was a Chief, a Cardinal, coming out of the University of Texas. Yeah, he's the same age as I think this is true. I think he is the same age as Devon Bailey. Jerry Jeudy today is 26 years and 321 days old. Devon Bailey is 28 years old. Younger than Devon Bailey. You can get 125 targets for Jeudy or 25 points for Tesla. Who hits your lineup more often? If I guarantee you those target numbers, 125 targets for Jeudy, 25 targets for Isaac Tesla, who hits your best ball fantasy football lineup more often? All right. Well, all right. Ridley goes. Dylan Sampson goes. Keaton went at 181. You know, that's just the way she goes, I suppose. I like Jeudy over Franklin. I don't love the Broncos wide receivers. I'm not going to take Trey Tucker, and I can't. Surratt went or Stowers went. All right, I'll just take my boy. I'll take my boy Terrence Ferguson. You got to believe in something in fantasy football. Yeah, Tesla with 25 touchdowns. Clearly, non-zero chance. Jerry Jeudy played against Seth McGowan in college. I mean, we can figure this out. All right, let's go Seth McGowan, CFB ref, and let's see if they played against 2020 Oklahoma wouldn't have played Alabama, right? Yeah, they did not play. They did not play Alabama that year. I mean, my preference is I like Singleton over Katron, but you know, like literally, what do I know? All right, we'll do Surratt. So now we have a 3-4-7-3. And I will probably be disregarding the kick a little bit for some running back picks here at the end, even though it's going to say it makes my team worse. I don't know. What do you guys think? Katron Allen or Nick Singleton? I slightly lean Singleton. Singleton was worse their final season, but Singleton has the more impressive collegiate resume and is a way better athlete. I think whenever Singleton does his, I don't even know if he's probably not even going to be healthy for a pro day, but if he is, like, I think he could run like a 4.38 or something, which would be pretty impressive at his size. Yes, Dewalian. Katron is a very sick name, but what you have to remember is that his nickname is Fat Man. So how does that make you feel that his nickname is Fat Man? All right, here we go. Update from Rap Sheet. The Vikings plan to make a push for Kyler Murray and are the favorite to land the former number 1 pick. Sources tell me and Tom Pelissero. Finally now released by Arizona. Murray will take his time and wants to hear directly from other teams, but Minnesota is the team to beat, which jives with the other things that we have heard reported and probably makes me think that you want to be building some Kyler stuff now, because if Kyler, like, it's going to be the same thing as we've had happen with Malik Willis. It's the same thing we're going to see like that we're happening. Geno just went in the 16th round here. Tua went in the 16th round. Nothing is ever priced in. The thing that you think is going to happen, it doesn't start to impact ADP until it actually happens. That's just the way it goes. You know? All right. How are we going to finish this team? What would you guys do? You have a 3-4-7-3. Your favorite running backs are all gone. It's all kind of dusty olds and Joe Mixons and Caleb Johnsons. I mean, we do have Jameer Gibbs and Jeremiah Love. We do have David Montgomery. We do have Jonathan Brooks. So we have guys. But what are we doing here? What are we doing? If someone in my fantasy league did what the Ravens did, I'd be pissed. Real. Would you take Kyler or the field for 2027 Vikings opening game quarterback? I would take the field because Kyler is going to sign a 1-year deal with Minnesota. And then he's going to try and get paid. Because the way that his contract works right now is he's being signed on void years, and anything that he makes just counts against the contract that the Cardinals have already paid him. Now, maybe it extends for multiple years, right? So I guess maybe I need to figure that out. So there you go. Okay, so his 2028 year was voided. So maybe still Kyler. Maybe still Kyler. That's close. That's close. I mean, I think KOC probably is going to be ready to pull his hair out right away, but at least it's not JJ McCarthy. Right? All right. I am just going to take a running back. I feel like the positional stuff is just pretty clear, and I do like Devin Neal a little bit. And I know my wide receivers are weak, so I get why the kick is doing this, but I don't know if Jefferson will. I certainly hopes he will. DeAndre Hopkins was able to have very good fantasy numbers with Kyler Murray. Do we know what scared the Ravens off of Crosby? I don't know, but it seems like what happened is they realized that they could get Trey Hendrickson as a free agent and not have to give up first-round picks. Very good question from Jordan Kramer here. When Brandon Ayuk inevitably signs with the Washington Commanders, where does he go? He is going to rise a lot in average draft position. I would think that we could probably get Brandon Ayuk going in this range of guys right here. The Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnston, Xavier Worthy range. That is obviously pending, any updated reports on his health and whatnot. Ooh. There we go. 10 out of 12, boys. I think we can do it. Buyer's remorse. Yeah, so much chatter. It was just cold feet and use the physical to get out of it. That is what it sounds like. And that's why I think other NFL teams are mad about it. Was in a draft with Sack and Shady yesterday, and they both went 3-4-9-4, I think. Sidekick really likes 4 running backs. Well, I know a lot of you guys are probably new or newer to best ball fantasy football, but Justin Herzig won with a what is called a hyper fragile running back build, and there was an entire summer where everyone tried to mimic Herzig's best ball team, where everyone said, "Oh, I'm only going to draft 4 running backs." I believe I don't know if he's here. Is Jake here? Jake Binniger on X, the Everything app, calls himself the 4 running back guy. So people do it. Ooh, I mean, hey, if the Ravens took Stowers with a first-round pick, we would be partying. I know Kyler hasn't been a wide receiver kingmaker, but Jefferson feels undervalued. I mean, this is a guy who's been in contention to be the number 1 overall pick in fantasy football that you could have 50% of if you wanted. Kirk Cousins favored to the Raiders. That seems strange. What are the odds Ayuk goes Will Fuller and we never see him again? It's certainly higher than his average draft position would indicate because his ADP is saying 0% chance, basically. I'd say this is a game you have to accept by the implemented legal tampering period. Teams have time to back out of something that isn't signed. I would agree with that as well. Yes, I completely agree with this. When you're staring down the barrel of George Halani, Jaden Blue, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, all these random rookies, it feels it feels pretty dark. I do think that 4 tight end could be the move. I agree. 4 tight end, particularly on DraftKings, does feel pretty good to me as well. Yeah, I was talking about your 4 running back teams, bro. Kingsbury offense in Arizona at the end was Kyler Spam throwing intermediates to Hollywood Brown. There you go. Wow, we have a ball knower in attendance. I had 60% of Mike Evans going into free agency. Used to get him constantly at pick 70. I wish I would have listened to the sidekick on that one. I do. All right, final pick here. Kareem wants me to take Jacoby Lane. Sure. All right. So we did a 3-5-9-3. Justin Herbert, Jameer Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, Chris Olave, Devonta Smith, Mekhi Lemon, Tyler Warren, David Montgomery, Aronde Gadsden, Tyler Shuck, Kyler Murray, Josh Downs, Travis Hunter, Jonathan Brooks, Jerry Jeudy, Terrence Ferguson, Elijah Surratt, Devin Neal, Jeremy Bernard, and Jacoby Lane. Anytime you can take. Oh shit. It filled. All right. Well, I think Kareem is here, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I sent him the link. So we'll see if he wants to hop on. All right, here we go. We have in the 3-3-3, 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 8 seconds into the stream. We have my guy, T Bird Baller 12. We got Bank Rick Rolled. We got Dorito. We got Jay Sarab. My guy Jay Sarab is always in the streets. We have got Pepper Prince, Dan Zach. So sick. We got my guy Goods. We got Blebdude, Shady Advice, BHO Kevin, and Sacrilegious 9. I am drafting at the 8th overall slot. Perfect opportunity to jam in Kenneth Walker. Wow, that was actually perfect timing. Yeah, we got a good sweat here. We got a very good sweat here. Well, beautiful. I was about to vamp for time and show you guys the tool that I've been working on, but now I can save it for another day. Oh, Kareem is not. I just saw his message. Kareem is not going to be here until 3:45 my time, so he's going to come in. He's going to come in halfway through. All right. Well, I guess I lied to you guys about Pat coming on. That's on me. I guess he'll be able to be here to help me land the plane. So when he comes to land the plane, GZ. All right, standard start, Bijan and Gibbs. Okay, all right. I'll milk some clock. Rachaad White over K9. I don't think so, brother. I don't think so, but maybe. Wouldn't that be funny? Rachaad White signs with the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks have no choice but to give him the ball, right? Because Zach Charbonnet is injured. They don't trust George Halani. And we end up with Rachaad White outscoring Kenneth Walker. Can you imagine? That would be phenomenally good fantasy football content. Honestly, it would. All right, we are on the clock. Do I want to take St. Brown? Who did I take yesterday? I think I did take. All right, first off, I'm going to take the whole clock because we're sitting here waiting for Pat. but I'm gonna take St. Brown. I kinda wanna take Justin Jefferson. We'll take St. Brown. I kinda wanted to take Justin Jefferson. A Justin Jefferson, Kenneth Walker start. Although, I'm sure that in these contests, people have, first, you know, first round pick, Justin Jefferson in the second round, and then they got Kenneth Walker. Although maybe not in this contest, right? Maybe not, potentially not in this contest. Because what? There's been very little of these contest details. Yeah, what? There's been very few entrants in this contest as a whole. And it's not a very big contest. And the final is just a very small group of people. Yes, Brad is on the same wavelength with me. This is the best contest to pull up K9 in since so few entries so far. Sack with the James Cook, Ashton Genty start. Kevin goes Jefferson, Hampton. Achan and Barkley start for Shady. Blabood. Is that really the name? Blabood? I mean, I am gonna do it unless this dude takes him. Yeah. The title of this video was turning $333 into $20,000 with Kenneth Walker. And you know what? I don't do clickbait. I don't lie in my title. I do what I say, and I say what I'm gonna do. I forecast it before it even happens. Kenneth Walker to the moon. Let's go. No clickbait. I'm gonna change the title. I'm gonna change the title of this into turning $333 into $20,000 with Kenneth Walker. No clickbait. That is beautiful. You absolutely love to see it. I did. I manifested it. I got my little stones. I took it in and I said, "All right." Do you think this is true? Do you think that they will force him to lose passing downs? I wonder. I don't. It would be hard for me to say. I honestly think they do probably just re-sign Kareem Hunt and use Kareem Hunt on a good bit of the third downs, but I can't say if that's 100% the case. I'm just gonna Twitter search Kareem Hunt, and I'm gonna see if there's anything new. Uh, is there any new reporting on Kareem Hunt? I'm honestly not seeing anything. Most recent thing is a Chiefs reporter named Farzan Swathian, potentially. The Chiefs zone. He tweeted Kareem Hunt, Smith Schuster, Hollywood Brown, and punter Matt Arezia are still available. Do you think the Chiefs re-sign any of them? 81 responses to that. Yeah, I don't know. Are we smashing Godwin with Evans leaving? I would lean that Godwin is I don't think you are double counting, honestly. I think that Chris Godwin is still quite a good pick, and it's probably not fully um integrated. I wonder if, honestly, and this is crazy to say, I wonder if Jalen McMillan is maybe the value. Jalen McMillan had a fracture in his neck and then came back and was immediately a starting player for them last year. That was kind of an underreported story. I feel like what week did he come back in last year? Jalen McMillan came back in week 14, 46% of the snaps, 53%, 52, 55%. 7 for 114 in his third game back from a neck fracture is crazy. So maybe he's a pretty good pick. I don't know. I should probably take some more. Well, Tez, I don't think is going to make it. Tez, I think we can say is, Tez Johnson is a fine NFL player. He did score 5 touchdowns last year. Honestly, that's another thing that had clearly wiped out from my brain that Tez Johnson scored 5 touchdowns. My guy Steven is taking McMillan in every league. Steven, I think you asked me this in the ship chasing chat yesterday, and I think I answered you, but the answer is yes. There are updated DraftKings and Underdog Best Ball rankings up for all of the patreon.com/Davis Maddock people. Now, do I want to take Josh Jacobs? Do I want to take ETN? Honestly, I don't really want to take Bucky that much. I'm gonna take Tet. That's a bigger drop off at running back. All right, I am gonna take Bucky. There's a pretty big drop off at running back. A less significant decline. It's true. It's true. Remember that? Remember when they were chanting MVP for Tez Johnson? Many such cases. Thoughts on Jalen Naylor moving on? Could open a door for Ty Felton. I think Ty Felton was a figment of my imagination. Honest to God, I think Jalen Naylor. Who's the Vikings wide receiver 3 going to be? The Vikings are, lads. So right now they have nothing. The Vikings have nothing. These are their wide receivers right now. Ty Felton, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, and Miles Price. So they probably have to sign someone and draft someone. Is BBMDB up to see pre-draft stuff? What would you want to see, brother? What data would you want to see? I think the answer is probably no, because there's not any contest results to see. All right. Kyren would be a smash here. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I wouldn't have taken Bucky if I would have known that. Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Kyren Williams. I never really do aggressive running back starts like this, but sure. Wow, Jake, the first golf lesson of your life. Things are going to change for you, bro. You are about to experience many things you've never experienced before. Oh yeah, PD has I think some BBMDB. I think he's got some ADP change. There you go. So he's got some Underdog Best Ball ADP change stuff up if you want to see that. My guy PD. What a man. Well, you wouldn't see any ownership of contests that have not locked yet for sure. Ooh, BBMDB live scoring for NBA dailies. I mean, is there anyone better? Is there anyone better than my guy PD? I don't really think so. After they trade Addison, I'll be the one. Ty Felton. Ooh, Harbs is enjoying the golf content. That's my guy. I do love golf. I love pro golf. I love actually golfing. I have not been actually golfing since my son was born. I might not even know how to swing a golf club anymore. I need to get out there. The weather is finally nice enough that it is probably doable. Ooh, win Swolecutta. I mean, hopefully soon. I would imagine that we will have the Swolecutta. Well, it'll be next week's show, right? Swolecutta will be, well, actually maybe we'll do it for members only on the Swolecast. I don't know. Wow, broke 100 for the first time. That's a great feeling. Day you break 100 and the day you break 90 are both very good feelings. Although I was super, super tilted at golf. I've been running so bad. I had Blades Brown at out at 110 to 1 last week, and he was leading coming on to the 13th hole on on the back nine, and he hit one in the sand and then hit one out of the sand straight into the water. I have DJ Moore pretty late. I had DJ Moore later than Kareem and Jacob had him. I have DJ Moore at 68. His ADP is 54. So I will probably move him up marginally, but not a ton. Yeah, and same deal. We will do the Masters Swolecutta right before the Masters as well. Okay, I'm not gonna take Scatterboo. I'm gonna take Carnell Tate. So we now have Jadarian Lamb. No, we don't. We have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ken Walker, Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, and Carnell Tate. Honestly, I probably will not do any videos on March Madness this year just because of time. It's really just a time thing. Yes, I did really enjoy the one that I did last year, but it's really honestly it's just it's a time management thing. And because I'm working light hours comparatively speaking right now, because I'm with my son from 6 a.m. to 12:30. Then I come down here and I either stream, make a video, get all the editing done, get some posting done, update rankings, and then by the time I'm done with all that, it's like 5:30, and I've been up since 4 a.m. and I'm just like cooked. So might need to update might need to up the caffeine intake. Or honestly, I might have to for a while. I might have to stop going to the gym in the morning. Honestly, gosh, do I want to take Jaden Daniels at 65 here? I kind of do. Why is Jordan Tyson falling so much? I am gonna miss quite a bit at wide receiver here. Marv and Jacoby, maybe. I'm gonna take Marv. I'm gonna wait on quarterback a little bit. The 3-3-3 is filled right now, sir. We are drafting the 3-3-3. See what so Shady has Devin Achane, Saquon Barkley, Zay Flowers, Mike Evans, Cam Scatterboo, and RJ Harvey. Sack has James Cook, Ashton Genty, Tedderoy McMillan, Garrett Wilson, DeAndre Swift, and Makai Lemon. Goods with the Jonathan Taylor, Jeremiah Love, Josh Jacobs, Luther Burden, Jalen Waddle, Jaden Daniels. My guy, is it coffee time? Who said he was getting in and held to his word. Bijan Robinson, George Pickens, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin. There you go. Ooh, John Mechie to the Panthers. Is it Jover for Jalen Coker? It might be. It might be Jover for Jalen Coker. Not actually. Maybe I should have taken Jaden there. The issue is, so if you do take Jaden Daniels there, but then you miss on this group of wide receivers, Tyson, BTJ, then you're left looking at Metcalf, Pearsall, Pierce, like guys who I just frankly don't really want to be taking at all. Jover for Jimmy Horn. It's been over for Xavier Leggett. Wasn't Xavier Leggett a healthy scratch at some point last year? I feel like he was. Maybe I'm making that up. All right. Well, okay. My guy T-Bird Baller double tapped quarterbacks, so I might be maybe I should have taken Jaden Daniels. because now I'm going to be scrambling at quarterback. This is going to have to be a Jacoby Brissett team. This is going to have to be a Aaron Rodgers team. We're probably going to take 2 of those dust ball quarterbacks. I don't know. I just don't like Alec Pierce. Jaden plus Alec Pierce over Marv, 7th round quarterback. I don't know. But you're right. The quarterbacks are flying here. Who took Tootin? In this one? My guy, Bank Rick Rolled, took Tootin at pick 50. Honestly, fine by me. I don't see, the thing is when I'm drafting against fellow sidekick users, I don't know if I will be able to take Patrick Mahomes. Unclear if that will work. Well, why would the Raiders not be able to salvage their quarterback? They already have a quarterback. They have Fernando Mendoza. Why? I think their quarterback room is fine. All right. Well, basically, worst case scenario here, and I'm just going to take Fannin to fill a positional need because I ruined one of the onesies, and then let's see if we're able to get Mahomes through here. True. How did you get Drake May after ADP in a leg up league? You were on the wrong side. You were on the wrong side, or the right side of the board to get him. Basically, is what happened there. Tootin will be in a running back by committee. Isn't every running back in a running back by committee? Quinshawn Judkins won't play third downs. Scadaboo will be in a committee. Henderson isn't even the starting running back on his team. I think caring about running back committees is maybe a little bit a thing of the past, because it's really not just much of a thing as, like workhorse running backs. I mean, there are some guys who are workhorse running backs, but not very many of them. GMC money. How we doing? There you go. Herbert goes, Mahomes goes. So I am going to be chasing it at quarterback a little bit, which, whatever. Stafford, not really. Dan says he lives in Jacksonville. They want Tootin to be the guy. Well, yeah, LeQuint is an awesome pass catching back. All right. Well, which of these jabronis am I going to take at quarterback? Would have been very nice to get my guy Mahomes. I knew that was a little bit of a Hail Mary. Ooh, let's ship Trevor Lawrence. Or, I mean, Dart is also fine too. But if I take Lawrence, then I can backstack him with Travis Hunter. I could take Dart and take Darius Slayton or Isaiah Likely later, but I'm thinking we do Trevor Lawrence here. Yeah, sure. Why not? Trevor Lawrence. So now we have got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, Carnell Tate. I actually think the Marvin Harrison pick was correct there. You're asking me to collude with you, Goods, and that is not happening. All right. Do you guys, how many likes are on this video? How many likes do we have here? If there is a reasonable amount, 55. If you guys get to 90 likes, I will show you guys the new tool I made. I've got a pretty cool new tool that I cooked up, and if you guys get to 90 likes, I will show it to you. And I think that is totally fair. And those of you who are Patreon subscribers are going to be able to play around with it relatively soon here. I'll probably, you know what? Maybe I'll just post like an unfinished version of it tomorrow. Jacoby Brisket is going to throw for 5K and 40 touchdowns this year. Probably more like 4,200 yards and 25 touchdowns with 27 interceptions. But Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, and Michael Wilson will probably all have 1,000 yards. No, it is not a physical tool. It is a fantasy football tool that you can use on your computer. And I don't think it is there are still some things that I'm working out on it, but I think it's about done. Spoiler, the new tool just compares every incoming wide receiver prospect to Robert Woods. I still don't understand why Kareem and Jacob did not get what I was saying. I think that comp was accurate. Jay Brizzy is never going to pass the ball 40 times a game again. I would take that bet. The can't see the forest for the Bobby Trees tool. The next year Marvin Harrison earns his ADP will be his first. Well, he's never been cheaper. He's on sale. He's on sale right now. All right. Bo Nix actually would be an okay pick here. Wandale would be an okay pick here. Baker stacked with Bucky. I mean, do I want to do that? Gadsden, I don't really need. Worthy would obviously be the brand pick, which would be fun. It's always fun. It's just fun to up the old exposures there. All right, we're up. Bo Nix is an option. Bo Nix can be backstacked very easily. I think I got to just do Bo Nix because I know that quarterback is going to get thin here, and now I've got multiple backstacking options because I've got Hunter, I've got Strange. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is on sale in a way that if you wait another year, he'll be on clearance. That's very well put. There you go. Liam said last night he likes Worthy at his price. And you know what? I'll reach across the aisle. I'm starting to think that that Shakir is going to be okay at some of these prices. There you go. In like a week, Shakir is going to be to where I've got him ranked at 127. Like Shakir in the 11th round in PPR, totally doable. There you go. Shady takes Baker. Kevin takes Kyler. Sack is probably going to take quarterback, one of these two. So I think Nix was the right pick for me there. Well, maybe Sack won't, because Sack does have Mahomes. Malik Willis is still on the board. I know that when I've taken Mahomes, I get Malik Willis recommended to me quite a bit. I don't know if I don't really want to have to take Jadarian Price here. I guess Jadarian Price here is okay. Jordan Addison feels better to me. Wow, Bodo Glimp's score against Sporting Lisbon. The dream continues. I don't want to take Jake Ferguson either. Yeah, I think I'm taking my guy. Xavier Worthy at pick. What is this? Pick 113. I mean, he's showing up in the queue on the sidekick, so it's not totally insane. All right, I'm in a good mood because with the 10th pick in this, we're going to be able to take Xavier Worthy. So let's take Xavier Worthy, and I will preview this tool that I've been working on. It's not 100% done, but this is a Dynasty fantasy football trade calculator. So let's turn Superflex on. We'll go win now, and I'm going to put Josh Allen in on this side. I'm going to put a first-round pick. I'm going to put Jamar Chase, and let's put Xavier Worthy in there because Worthy shouldn't be worth much. And then here you go. So I've got this. It works in multiple ways. So you select Superflex or one quarterback. You select the size of your league, and then you do the strategy that you are using. This is up here in the right corner. Strategy: neutral, win now, tanking, or productive struggle. You've got the market value of the trade, Then you have the package value of the trade. Obviously, there is it's basically a difficulty adjustment based on how far the trade is, because it's less valuable to have 3 different pieces versus the one superstar piece. This is the fragmentation analysis where it shows you the differential equation. So team B, the Jamar Chase side, loses to fragmentation. Xavier Worthy is hard to start on a contending roster. Effective value is meaningfully lower than raw, right? So it shows the DK analysis when you're just adding in numbers. It's like you could add in infinite 3rd-round picks to get to the Josh Allen value. There you go. Let me switch this from win now to tanking. And if you switch that from win now to tanking, then team B, because you'd much rather have Chase because he's 26, you'd much rather have the early 2021. So there you go. You've got the team B wins. Team B receives more rebuild assets as a tanking team. Team A may want younger pieces. So the part that is not done is the specific values of the picks. I'm still working on exactly how to hone in the numeric values, because I basically the draft picks are not worth exactly what I want them to be, more or less. So any of you dynasty heads, you're going to have access to that tool if you are a patreon.com/Davis Maddox subscriber. Like I said, probably tomorrow. I want to hone in those values just a smidgen more. And I think there's probably an easier way to do that, but it just requires a little bit more math. All right, we are up. I don't have to take Jake Ferguson. I don't really want to take Mendoza here either. By ADP, it's kind of a bunch of losers. Dallas Goedert, who I don't really want. You know what? Let's take someone the sidekick never lets me take. Let's take Matthew Golden. Sidekick literally never lets me take Matthew Golden. It's like he doesn't exist. Quantifying fragmentation, just not sure if it's super duh who wins the trade unless your video window was covering it. Yes, that is actually a good point you've made. It's the trade verdict is there, but this maybe is not clear enough because the team B wins, right? Because the number is higher, and then the package efficiency. So market value is added up, and then package efficiency is with that fragmentation analysis, but it's not it's not super clear. So I will actually, Brad, that is actually a good feature update that I will do. A real Windhorse situation, sacrilegious. The sidekick never lets me take Matthew Golden. Why is that? Well, you'll soon see. Wow. A true treat. A true treat. The sidekick asking me to take Travis Kelce, but Strange fills out the stack. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? All right, Kelce it is. All right, I skipped the stack to get my guy Travis Kelce. You know, that's how it goes. Sometimes you get to have your cake and eat it too. Obviously would have preferred this team to have had the services of one Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Is he Patrick Mahomes Jr., by the way? Wow. Real Madrid is killing Man City. 3-0 first half. Okay. He's Patrick Mahomes Jr., right? And he's Patrick Mahomes the second. What a badass. Kyler on the Falcons would have been sick. It's true. You'll be able to backstack with 12 million annual average value. De'Ami Brown still has to be he's still unsigned, right? Or is he technically on the Jaguars roster? He only signed a 1-year deal, right? Yes, he is. No. Yes, he is. He is. There you go. I mean, is it really a discount on Matthew Golden who did absolute shit? That like, okay, what is Matthew Golden's average draft position if he didn't have that playoff game? Like, let's say he was hurt in that playoff game, or Jaden Reed had that playoff game instead of him. What would it be? Ooh, the slappy NBA play of the day. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I haven't really looked. I have not been doing the dailies as often, so I'm not as well versed. I still cannot believe that Bam Adebayo from yesterday. That was so insane. That's like one of the craziest sports things that's happened in my lifetime. Matthew Golden Dipperino slurpers. They're selling nickels for 10 cents. Oh, that's so funny, Zach. They don't give Zach enough credit. Okay. Your slappy play of the day, I will give it to Dominique Clifford against the Charlotte Hornets. Oh, and I get Travis Hunter anyway, so bang. I really did get to have my cake and eat it too. So now we are stacked up. Bada bing, bada boom. Wow, Bodo Glimt is up 2-0. Man, I think I bet Sporting too. Looks like we have potentially an incoming VAR though for this Bodo Glimt goal. I saw Bam and Asia Wilson are the first couple in history to hold the active single game scoring record in their respective leagues. That is badass. That's so cool, man. Imagine being Bam Adebayo. Did I see Ice Cube's son crashing out on the TL about Bam passing Kobe? I did not, but I assume there were a lot of people crashing out. I assume there were a lot of people who were very unhappy about that. There you go. Bam is a case for what a great woman in your life can do for you. Yeah, how long have he and Asia Wilson been dating? Do you think it's funny that she is certainly better at her sport than he is at his? Like, do you think that is interesting? Like, I wonder, like, because I think she's won MVP twice, right? And they've won the title. Well, I think they won the title twice. Because she is like the Jokic of the WNBA. Damn. Oh, shady ripping my heart out with the 14th round, Jacoby Brissett. Kill me now. Now Jonathan Brooks is a nice little pick here, actually, though. Yeah, there are people mad right here. There are people mad right here at BAM. It's true. If you don't double down on Matthew Golden, you were never a believer. She's the best WNBA player right now, no question. Now, again, another interesting wrinkle. I know this from doing the Omni Fantasy stuff, but like a ton of the WNBA players, I mean, if you're not interested in this, I'm sorry, but like a ton of the WNBA players right now are free agents. And so if they ever return from this lockout, they could all decide to play with each other, which is just kind of fascinating. Like it could be a Heedle situation. Like Asia Wilson could go play with the Fever if she wanted to. You know what? I agree with this. 83 points is 83 points. A bucket is a bucket. Props to Bam. Completely agree. Now, Chad is asking the hard questions. Do we think this ushers in an era of teams trying to scam their way to breaking the record? Certainly very interesting. Here's a good one. Why would the Hornets not just ask Con Knipple to shoot 33s in a game and try and break the record for threes in a game? Like Con Knipple could go out tonight and hit he could hit 15 threes because Clay broke Steph's record. You're telling me Con Knipple could not hit 15 3-pointers in a game? He definitely could. Con Knipple could come out and, I guess it's because the Hornets the Hornets actually, I think, are live to maybe make the, they're definitely going to make the play in, but they could even potentially, they could catch Miami. I don't think they will, but they could catch Miami. I would think it's very funny. Wow. For any of you guys who are doing golf stuff, Rory McIlroy said he's a game time decision for the players, but things are trending in the right direction. Mostly no. Some NBA players have small parts of their contracts, and it's called what would you even call it? It's basically they call them unlikely incentives. Most of the incentives, though, and I'm going to take Eli Stowers instead of all these dust balls. Most of the incentives in NBA contracts are relatively small because NBA contracts are mostly fully guaranteed when they are agreed upon. So it's different than it is in the NFL, where it's like, oh, if you get to 650 yards, you get $500,000 or whatever. All right. Well, Stowers, I think, was a nice addition. So we are at Trevor Lawrence, Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison, Harold Fannin Jr., Kyron Williams, Bo Nix, Xavier Worthy, Matthew Golden. Wow. The two horsemen of the apocalypse, Xavier Worthy and Matthew Golden, with Travis Kelce, Travis Hunter, Jonathan Brooks, and Eli Stowers. Me personally, loving to see it. The Bam free throws led to a basket, but at what cost to the communal spirit? Hack-a-Shack was a thing, and yet he never took advantage. Well, he was bad at it. I mean, do we? I have no idea what happened during the Wilt 100-point game because there's no video of it. Is Keaton Missile available? Keaton Missile is available, so I'm gonna take him at pick 185 unless Blublood takes him, which I hope he doesn't. I don't think anyone should be mad at Bam Adebayo for setting an NBA record. He's gonna go down in absolute history. I think anyone mad at Bam should search elsewhere. All right, we're gonna take the Missile here. So now we are at a 2-5-6-3 build, which feels pretty good. I don't think I maybe have taken KLS once or twice. I need some proof of life. I need Justin Herbert. I need him to show up on a Justin Herbert Instagram story or something. Ooh, this is a crazy stat from Albert Breer. With the release of Kyler Murray, just 3 of the 29 first-round quarterbacks drafted in the second decade of this millennium remain with the teams that took them. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. Well, is that true? Yes, because I guess Burrow would have been just after that. That is wild. That's a wild stat. Yes. Yeah. My guy, my FIFA Ultimate Team legend, Federico Valverde, is going Bam Adebayo mode against Man City right now. Yes, he is. Every star has played the Wizards this year, and no one else has put up 83. I mean, no one else has even put up 70. No one else has even put up 50 against the Wizards, I don't think. So, yes, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. All right, how am I going to land this plane, guys? I've got a 2-5-6-3. I got to take one of these bum quarterbacks. They're all pretty much gone, so I'm looking at like it's not great. It's not great. I let myself get frame mugged and Jester maxed at quarterback. Even Tua's gone. Where did Geno go? Geno went in the 14th round to my guy Jay Sharab. Can we start saying I'm gonna go Bam Adebayo? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Man, I guess I need to adjust to the new meta that Jacoby Brissett and Geno Smith are no longer backdoor selections. You gotta pay. If you want to secure the services of a very mid quarterback, you're gonna have to pay through the nose. Brazel? Do I want to take? I kind of want to take. All right, Chris Brazel. Gonna throw the wrench in Shady and Sacrilegious's sidekick without Brazel there. What do I think about Team USA at the World Baseball Classic? Didn't they lose to Italy last night? I don't know. I think that I think the interesting thing about Team USA is they seem to be having way less fun than all the other teams, which is just kind of interesting at the W. I've watched like 3 games of the WBC. Busy guy. There you go. They lost and might not advanced. Who's the last possible quarterback on the board you convince yourself? I mean, I could get pretty deep in here. I think you could convince yourself. I think Derek Carr. I think honestly, I could convince myself on Ewers. That's probably it. So 281 Quinn Ewers is probably the last one. Yeah, no Kareem. Kareem ran into Kareem just didn't get back to his desk at time, which is fine. No big deal there. I'm gonna take a running back. Well, all right, if I take a wide receiver, if I take Kyle Williams, will the sidekick allow me to take a running back or a quarterback in the end? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Exactly. I will take the quarterback 60. 63 quarterbacks started a game last year. Do you really need a third quarterback? I think where I would side on this in the end is that we take a lot of running backs who project for 0, but getting potential quarterback scores is just very, very helpful. But yeah, like a spike week at quarterback, if it comes for you in the right week when you have other zeros at quarterback, is huge. Fields, I mean, Fields is probably going to start for someone, right? Like who is on average in an average season, who is going to contribute more for my roster? Kyle Williams or Tua Tagovailoa, or Kyle Williams or Ty Simpson? Like honestly, you know, I think it's probably the quarterback. But I think Carr is probably going to start some games. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Yeah, Kirk officially cut today. Flacco. I mean, dude, the league like cheated to get Flacco starts last year. It's just insane. How many quarterbacks start games? I mean, why don't I go run this filter a different way? Why don't I go quarterbacks who started at least 3 games last season? How about that? How about quarterbacks who started at least 3 games last year? So we've got 41. We've got 46. 40. 47 quarterbacks started at least 3 games or appeared in at least. I think if I did, I mean, I'm just looking really quick. It might be like 48, 49, 50, something like that. Cause it's like Malik Willis started 2 games, but came in others. Uh, Tanner McKee started a game. Tommy DeVito started 2 games, but appeared in others. It's just so much more than you think, man. You just and it comes, just what if it comes at the right time? All right, I am gonna take Ty Simpson here. It's 19th round, Ty Simpson. Maybe he starts for the Cardinals in the right weeks. I think Pacheco went. Maybe he didn't. Did Isaiah Pacheco go? No, Isaiah Pacheco's still there. Maybe I'll take Isaiah Pacheco here in the 20th round. Yeah, why not? Yeah, open your minds to finding the proper weeks to find the right chemistry. Yeah, I don't love Ty Simpson, but 19th round Ty Simpson is fine. All right. 3-5-8-3. My wide receivers, St. Brown, Tate, Harrison, my wide receivers are pretty thin. I think the sidekick actually nailed this one, where another wide receiver here is actually going to be much more helpful to me than anything else. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Jalen Knoll, Jack Besh, Mac Hollins, Flournoy, Brennan Thompson, Demarcus Robinson. I just do like Jalen Knoll. I think that's who I'm going to take. Jalen Knoll. Yeah, it's very sad. I probably will not do any of this. I think you want to separate these as much as possible. Okay. Trevor Lawrence, Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Carnell Tate, Marvin Harrison Jr., Harold Fannin Jr., Kyle Williams, Bo Nix, Xavier Worthy, Matthew Golden, Travis Kelce, Travis Hunter, Jonathan Brooks, Eli Stowers, Keaton Missile, Chris Brazel, Kyle Williams, Ty Simpson, and Jalen Knoll. Appreciate my guy Dorito hopping into the 333. I appreciate my guy Dan Zach, Pepper Prince. I appreciate my guy T Bird Baller, my guy Goods, my guy Shady, huge. I'd like to give a big salute actually to my guy Kevin, who wasn't even planning on entering and deposited specifically to play this with us. Shout out to Kevin and Sacrilegious. Thank you to all my guys who popped in. Thank you to all of you guys watching. Love all of you guys. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Of course, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow, pending what we're doing with ship chasing. If you want more content, got a bunch of stuff out on patreon.com/Davis Maddock. So check that out. Support your guy. Can't be living around for free here forever. And if you also want that cool little tool I used, the Sidekick, you can go check that out at legendaryupside.com. Thank you very much for watching.